Okay.
What makes you want to do that?
Okay,
I
let's go
wanted to.
back. Let's go back.
Super controversial.
And what
Go back. He posted on Twitter,
professional mental health people?
and because I don't have a Twitter. I don't. I just made one 2 days ago, and I went in there. People said I was lying. I mean, like everybody in the blog, you know, they like, oh, that's you, that's you, that's you, you know. No penis. Like, are you guys serious? Okay. Because you aren't doing wrong things, you know, and whatever. That's me. They put on social media.
Seeing a professional about something like that?
I don't need to. I've done it in a couple months. I stopped. I wasn't highly addicted, but I was on it for a while.
Is it okay if I ask you a little bit about seeing professionals, like professional mental health people?
Yeah, ask me whatever you want.
So I'm hearing that it's not a problem anymore, so you don't need to see a professional.
Yeah, I don't think about it. I don't crave it at all. I don't, you know what I mean?
Then why talk about it?
I'm just giving you an update what I did this year. I was in the gym. Yeah.
Okay. So just kind of like this is what you went through.
Yeah. And then I was on the.
Here you go. He lies again. Like, what's those narcissist female did to you? I mean, I don't blame you because they're your aunts. And I'm the one y'all trying to put in prison. Because I can't protect myself or talk or anything. I'm gonna say it again. I won my rights. I don't have any more privacy. I don't have any more identity. I don't have any more respect. Not only from the American, but from all over the world, especially Muslim countries. I can't go back there anymore because I don't know, they might dig a grave and bury me in it. Okay. Where is the comment? Dig. How you spell dig? Dig a grave and bury me in it alive. Just like you guys trying to do so many times to me. Shame what a family I have. And the problem is, I was never there. Now, Dr. Rufio, I need to sue them, not social media, this family, this millionaire family. The only thing they did that to me, because I'm poor, and I refuse to be in the circle and start selling human traffic. Because I'd rather feed my family and myself from the trash than doing this. go back to the video.
On this path of kind of like, in this, I guess people call it the controversial era, where people that really don't know me, that aren't a part of my community, that just don't know me.
Y'all know y'all did a big mistake, a really big mistake. I mean, y'all could go check it in my other video they were talking about it. Y'all made a big mistake for harassing me, abusing me, insulting me, and y'all never thought about the consequences.
Know me, they would see these articles and things and just assume I was an asshole. I would say things like there are two genders in this world. I made a tweet saying there are two genders. Okay. I went through like this controversial era, and that was labeled controversial. So when I made a tweet saying there was two genders, my talent agency dropped me from it. They said, "Look what he tweeted this morning. He said something super controversial."
And what do you understand? Tell me about that. What's going on with that?
So, I mean, I slowed down. I stepped out from making like tweets like that and stuff. But when I tweeted that out, it hurt a lot of people. I didn't do it to hurt people. I did it because a week before that, Twitter was on my ass about something old. My motive was like, cool, you guys want to target me for this? I'm going to make a tweet, Twitter, and show you guys that, because they were trying to cancel me for something, cancel on Twitter. So I was like, okay, watch, I'm about to make a controversial tweet, try to cancel me now. And it was my craziest tweet. I think I was like 600,000 likes and like millions and millions of views.
And what were you kind of,
So
is that kind of the same sort of like thing where it's like if someone tells you don't do something, you're like, fuck you, I'm going to do it?
Not really. I did it because I did a tweet because I knew it would stir. I knew people would like talk about it. I knew it would be controversial in my generation, even though it's not. But I made a tweet because I wanted to show cancel culture, fuck you, cancel culture. Watch. And I did that tweet, and now people still, I think it's like, yeah. It's like people, like, it didn't matter. Like, I didn't get canceled.
What makes you want to do that?
I wanted to show people, fuck cancel culture. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tweet out there's two genders. They're going to try to cancel me. I didn't get canceled.
I understand that you wanted to show people something. What was driving you to prove your point?
The tweet, when I tweeted it, I knew it was going to stir. So, like, cancel culture was trying to be on my ass. Oh, what drove me to make the tweet was so, like, a week before, cancel culture was on my ass trying to cancel me on Twitter. And I was like, fuck you, cancel culture. I'm not going to go for that. So I'm going to tweet out there's two genders. And they were even more mad.
Okay, so this is great. Maybe we've hit our limit for the day, but maybe not. So let me point something out to you. So I'm asking you, you engaged in a behavior, right? You tweeted something out.
Yeah.
And I'm asking you, why did you do that? And then the answer that you give me is something else outside of you, right? They were trying to cancel you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm curious about is stuff in the outside world happens. And then stuff in the outside world enters you. And then something else happens. And then you feel like doing something else.
Correct.
Right? Like there's a stimulus from the outside world, and then there's a response from you to the outside world. With me?
Yes, I'm with you.
What goes on in the middle? Like, what happens within you when they try to cancel you? Like, that's what I'm asking. I'm curious about how does one action that is done to you result in a response from you? Why did you do that instead of apologizing or any other of the 1,000 things that you could have done? Like, not treat anything.
I think maybe just the table thing we talked about. Like, I like doing the opposite. I like most people would fold and apologize. I didn't care. I got banned from Twitch, that soft, one-sided platform. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck Twitch, fuck this, and that led to more shit, more stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, in my opinion, I just think, why would I apologize for saying there's two genders? There are two genders. So it's like, I did it. Yeah, like I did it.
Yeah, so like when you say, why would you do that? Do you? I feel emotional energy when you make that statement.
But why though? I'm saying like, when you said like, why
Get
did
at
you?
the logic.
No, I'm just trying to ask you, like, why though, when you ask, like, why didn't you just apologize or do another route? It's because there, like, what would I be apologizing for?
Sure, I'm not suggesting that you should apologize. What I'm kind of pointing out is that, so this is where I think the emotional numbness comes in. So generally speaking, when someone says something to me, it affects me in some way.
Yeah.
And then my drive to act and the way in which I act is shaped by my internal environment.
Correct.
Right? So if someone says, fuck you, All Oak, you're an asshole. And then I can feel one of two different things. I can feel ashamed, and if I feel ashamed, I will apologize. Or I can feel angry. I can feel affronted. I can feel territorial. And then if I feel angry, affronted, and territorial, I will turn around and I will say, screw you. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
So
yeah.
the behavior, and the weird thing is that the mind actually, the logic follows the emotion, not the other way around.
I just think, yeah. I actually agree with that.
Right?
Yeah.
So if we're talking about emotional numbness, I mean, I'm just picking this as a random. I don't care what happened on Twitter. Honestly, I don't.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that, like, what I'm kind of pointing out to you is that earlier you talked about being addicted to the high of grinding. And we're talking a little bit about how you have some of these feelings and you're not quite sure what to do with them, and you sort of like, you do a good job, actually, right? So you learn how to crack jokes.
Yeah.
You learn how to, like, accept it is what it is. You can't necessarily change it. There's no point in worrying, but the worry is still there at the back of your mind. And what I'm pointing out to you is that a lot of your behaviors, even jumping up on the table, I'm not sure how much in control of that you are.
What do you mean?
So, like, if someone says, Aiden, don't jump on the table, I don't know that you can control whether you jump on the table or not.
No, I definitely can control it, doctor. I think that's like why, like, my whole life is like where I am today. I think not listening to what everyone's doing. Have you ever seen the picture of, it's like...
But can you listen
To what?
to what other people tell you to do?
Of course, but like I have to experience it myself. Like that's how I.
So then I'm hearing that you can't until you experience it.
Yeah, I mean I can listen, but I mean I'm still gonna probably want to do it myself. Yeah.
Right? So when you want to do something...
Most people are like that though. Like for example, like when you grow up, when I grew up as a kid, when I grew up, I'm gonna stop overgeneralizing. When I grew up as a kid, I was curious, right? Like when I was in high school, I would sneak out and I would go to a party. Like that's just me being curious, even though my dad was like, yo, don't do that. Like you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like I just think it's about being, when I'm curious. You want to know.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Do you control the curiosity, or does the curiosity control you?
It's a good question. I think the curiosity controls me.
Wrong.
What do you think about that?
It's not good, Doc, but I mean, a lot of people have that. You know, it's like, it's 50-50. I think it's curiosity controls you or you control curiosity. So everyone's different. I don't know why. I think it's perspective, how you grew up, but it's...
I think that, yeah. So if I can share something.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I want to try to catch a couple things that you say. So other people are like that, or generalizations. I'm going to actually move in the opposite direction. I don't care about how other people are. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
What I'm interested in this conversation is you.
Okay.
And what your experience is.
Okay.
So whether other people are whatever, happy, unhappy, good, bad.
Whatever, fuck them. We're just talking about you and I.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think that some of what this emotional numbness, I think that this is connected, because generally speaking, we can't control something unless we're aware of it.
Yes.
Right? So all you have to do is go to the dentist, and if you can't feel your mouth, right? So numbness and lack of awareness leads to a lack of control.
Correct.
And so what I'm kind of noticing is that you engage in behaviors that feel righteous, right? Like in your mind, they're logical and stuff. I'm not saying they're not logical. It's not my place to be the arbiter of logic and determine what is right or wrong. Whether it has to do with relationships, whether queens and hoes, like whatever. I'm not the arbiter of truth. What I'm hearing from you, though, is that there is an internal dimension that doesn't get a whole lot of play in the way that you interact with the world, right? These people did this, so I'm going to do this. This person said don't do this, so I'm going to tell them I'm going to do the exact opposite. It sounds like some people that relationships that you feel emotionally connected to, you can actually listen to them. If your dad tells you, hey, Aiden, don't do this, mom says don't do this, you can like set that aside.
Yeah, I can.
Right?
I can set it aside, but I still kind of, I get curious, you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
still, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think curiosity is beautiful. But my point is that, like, the thing that I'm worried the most about is that I don't know if you're in control of your life. I think you have a lot of power,
Yeah.
and I think you've managed to probably control all of these external dimensions. So it sounds like you've got financial security. It sounds like you have freedom. It sounds like you have a lot of stuff out there. But I still get the sense that you are a puppet to yourself.
100%. I agree with you on that. I'm a puppet to my career. Literally, I'm a puppet to my chat. I swear to God, I am.
What do you want to... Is that okay? How do you feel about it?
No, I don't like it at all. I hate it. But it is what it is, Doc. It is what it is.
What'd you just do there?
I did it, Doc. You're right. Yeah.
What'd you do?
I tried avoiding the feeling of it by putting a pause, like a little it is what it is on the yeah.
So what did you push away?
I pushed away the truth.
What is the truth?
That I'm a puppet.
How does that feel?
It sucks.
Sucks in what way?
It hurts, Doc.
So let me toss some stuff out, okay?
All right.
What I'm hearing there is powerlessness.
It's true.
And when I hear you at the age of 40, you don't know if you're going to be alone or not. Powerlessness there too.
Well, no. I mean, you're not going to know what you're doing by 45, Doctor, to be honest. Nobody knows what we're, you know what I'm saying?
Logically, no one can predict the fucking future. I agree with you, Aiden. What I'm saying, the emotional
part.
energy
Oh, okay.
is powerlessness, right? Because you're like, fuck, 99% of people treat me as Aiden Ross. There's 1%. And let me ask you something. What's more common, Aiden, queens or hoes?
Hoes.
And what does that mean for your future?
I'm fucked.
What is the emotion that goes with I'm fucked?
It is what it is.
Right? It's powerlessness.
Yeah.
And so here's the crazy thing, okay? Now I'm going to kind of like, I'm going to try to say this, okay? And reject it if you want to reject it. So it's my belief that you're, like, all of these things that you're scared of, you got to stop running away from them.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, if you admit to yourself, I am powerless, then you can do something about it. Right? You got to meet yourself where you're at.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, you got to say, like, when people, you know, the people who get divorced are the ones who don't think that their marriage has a problem. The people who say, this marriage is on its last legs, we got to either bust it or try to save it. You have to admit, you have to accept the truth of what you feel.
Got it. Even though if it's the hard truth, you still got to accept it.
Absolutely. Right?
Yeah.
And I see you doing that. I don't see you running away from it in a way.
I can accept it. Like, if it's in my face and I feel it, I'm not scared to accept the truth. I'm really not.
Yeah, so I hear you kind of saying it is what it is, but then you're still moving away from it. You're not actually moving towards it. And that's where, like, as you start to feel that powerlessness, I think you're going to find, right, and now I'm fucking making a mistake here, but I think you're going to find, as you get in touch with your feelings, that a lot of this stuff is active when you, because, like, when you're talking to a girl, I think there's a lot going on inside you. And the thing is, like, if you kind of think about it, like, you've got one really good trump card. I could be wrong, right? So you can tell me, hey, this is the generation, you're wrong, Dr. K, you don't know what it's like, so you can tell me I'm wrong, I'm going to admit that. All I want you to do is think and pay attention to yourself.
Okay.
Because once you start labeling people as this or this, you suddenly become really protected, right? Because the second you label someone a hoe, if you fall in love with her, that love ain't ever going to hurt you. It allows you to push her away. It allows you to, like, set yourself apart. It allows you to avoid connections and vulnerability.
Yes, you're right.
And so, like, the thing is, and so the crazy thing is that if your mind has an ulterior motive to protect you from your emotions, it'll like screw something else up.
That's good though. It's just it's defense.
You're right, it's defense.
Defense.
But the question is, who's in control? Are you clear-headed? Or are these things working behind the scenes?
I mean, it's a good way to put it, I guess. I just think that, like, no, I mean, that is a really good way to put it. Because I don't know if I'm fully in control or not. You're right.
Right? And so all I want for you to do is, like, I want you to have whatever you want.
Thank you, doctor. I appreciate that.
Really? Like,
Yeah.
you know, and I think, like, dude, you've accomplished so much at the age of 22. And so, like, this is where, like, what you're kind of saying, you don't have any passion for what's left, because I think you're right. You beat the game. You figured out how to succeed materialistically.
Yes. Now what?
Now you're where, you know who Gautam Buddha is?
Nope.
You know what Buddhism is?
That's the guys with the bellies, right?
Yeah, it's the guys with the bellies. So I'm going to tell you a story, okay?
Okay.
So there was once a prince in India, and his name was Gautam Buddha. His name was Gautam.
Okay.
And Gautam had it all.
Yeah.
So when he was actually about your age, he was the prince of a powerful kingdom. He was loved. He was respected. He had a queen, like a real queen, who had given him a healthy son.
Oh, shoot, okay.
And so everything in life we had heard, everything in life that he had heard was like, okay, if you're unhappy, the problem is that you're dating hoes, not queens. The problem is if you're unhappy, it means you don't have enough power. If you're unhappy, you need more money, you need more financial security, you need a Lambo. You can't be driving no fucking Toyota, you need a Lambo. All of these things will make you happy. And then that worked for everybody else, right? Because if I'm driving a Toyota and I don't have a Lambo, I have something to reach towards. I have something that gives me a sense of progress.
A goal,
right?
yeah.
There's some way of keeping score. And that feels really good psychologically, to feel like you're making progress.
Correct.
But then he had everything. And one day he woke up and he was unhappy. And then he's fucked. Because what does he do now? Right? Like, how do I find happiness if I have the Lambo, I have a queen, I have a child, I'm a prince of a powerful kingdom. I'm like, what everyone else craves in the world is what I already have, and I'm still unhappy.
Damn.
And so he did something really weird. He gave it all up, and he's like, I gotta figure this shit out. And so then he went to these spiritual teachers and gurus and all this kind of stuff, like looking for answers. And then what he kind of discovered was that there's a lot of like internal work done.
Gotcha.
And if you tell me that you've beaten the game, I think you've beaten the external game.
You're beating the external game, the materialistic aspect of things, but there's still emotional, and there's still like a that type of thing I have to master as well.
I think that's the game that, like, and this is what happens. There's also this really interesting kind of saying, which is that you can't meditate on an empty stomach. And that if you really look at it, there's other stories I can tell you, but conquering the material. So I tried to become a monk when I was 21.
Oh, nice.
And I went to my teachers and I said, I'm ready to give up my life and become a monk, and I want to devote myself to spirituality in this internal game. Okay?
What happened?
My teacher said, what do you mean, give up? You've got fucking nothing. You have nothing to give up. You're a fucking failure at life.
Yo.
You have nothing worth giving up. So they said, get your ass back to, and this goes back to Harvard, okay? So now we're going to come full circle. So when I was 18 years old, I decided I was going to be pre-med, and I wanted to go to Harvard Medical School just like all the Indian kids. And I was going to be the smartest fucking doctor, and I was going to have the biggest fucking swinging dick, and I was going to be a Chad and all that kind of stuff. And I ended up failing a bunch of classes because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Then I go to India, and my teachers tell me, you have nothing worth giving up. Get your ass back to America, finish your studies, and do the best that you can. Finish a doctoral degree. And then at the age of 30, if you want to give all that shit up and you want to take your vows, we'll take you. And so on that day, Aiden, I was like you. And I said, these fuckers don't think I can do it. I'm going to show them. So I went back. I didn't give a shit about Harvard. I just wanted to be able to give up the biggest thing.
Damn, good
so
for
I
you.
put myself fully into my studies, like went to med school. I didn't even show up at my award ceremony because it never dawned on my mind that I would get an award for being at the top of one of the classes.
I love that, man. That's amazing.
And like, they were also smart because they realized like being a monk ain't for me because they're good at that kind of shit. And I think that where you are right now is like you've got to start this journey. And like it's the journey to be happy. And no amount, I hate to break it to you, but finding this magical human being out there, it'll bring you happiness at the time, but then you're going to beat that game too. You're still going to wake up.
Wow, you're right. Damn, so I mean, the happiness comes from, so the happiness does come from being alone. Okay? Well, no, not being alone, but I would say happiness comes within, like, you could be alone and be happy. Like, you could be, like, you don't have to be with somebody to rely on happiness or anything like that. You could do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you're going to discover.
Right.
And I think even if you look at your own life, you're going to discover that there are two kinds of happiness that you've experienced.
Correct.
One is going to be like this dopaminergic happiness, and one is like a quieter kind of thing.
Right.
And this numbness that you've got is like getting in the way of feeling that.
Damn. All right, I gotta find spiritualness. I was spiritual at one point. I was very spiritual. I lost it. I gotta get it back. I need the light. I need to find it.
Yeah, I think you're going to be fine. The one thing I would recommend for you is just catch yourself anytime you say it is what it is.
Okay.
And whatever you feel, just like let yourself feel it. It doesn't have to have any implication. It doesn't need to be logicked out. Just close your eyes and just let it be there without pushing it away, without doing anything with it. Just fucking sit with it.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, doctor. I mean, like, anytime it is what it is, I'm just gonna be like, nah, it's not, it is what it is. Face it.
Yeah, I'm a face it.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's a step in the right direction. But even then, there's a cultivation of emotion there, right? Because you're like, I'm going to conquer it. I can see you're moving around quite a bit. You doing okay? Like, we're done.
I have ADHD. You want to leave me already?
I thought that I'm getting physical signals from you that you've probably hit some kind of limit.
I just have ADHD, doctor. Let me stand up a little bit.
No, I mean, I think it's okay to be done. What do you think?
1 second, doctor. It is okay. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so how do you feel when you're leaving me already, doctor?
It's a joke. What do you mean?
Sure. I completely agree that you are using humor as a defense mechanism related.
No, I mean, like, it doesn't matter if you think you're not. It's like, whatever, I'll move on to the next thing.
Okay.
But I mean, like, it's like, I meant it as a joke.
Sorry, my bad. Maybe I'm over-interpreting.
Yeah, right there.
So, I like to, in terms of stepping away. So, Aiden, I find that like 2 hours is I feel like we're at a good pausing point. Opening up a new chapter would be a commitment to like another hour or two.
For you guys
I'll do this again.
trying
What can you
to cover, for you guys trying to cover what y'all did,
help me understand what your experience of this conversation was?
A lot.
for you guys to cover what y'all did to me, it's, how do you want me to say it? It's crazy, man. It's really fucking crazy. Excuse my language. As long as you guys been doing that, I'ma stay recording you, and I want my rights. And if that video is there somewhere, I want it. And I hope I get it. Because I wasn't the one who recorded myself. And there is someone. Yes, there is someone. I gotta go talk to him.
I think you're actually starting to change my perspective on how I feel. The most important thing I gained out of this whole thing is that it is what it is unacceptable. Stop accepting. Stop saying it is what it is, and I think it's time to really just let it do its thing. It's okay.
Yeah.
Me, myself, I don't really care.
And what I got from...
I don't really care, you know that? I don't even care. But the only thing that you guys did is... I don't know. Like these right here, him and him. This guy right here, he was dating my sister. Because the way his girl said she was my wife. And we got divorced. And that never happened in a million years. And this guy right here, he knows what he did, it was wrong. Abused my sister, put her on social porn thing, making money off her. She broke. Bringing other people to gangbang her. Not too. This guy right here, I put on a video of him, and he was trying to hack my computer.
Not from this conversation. First of all, Aiden, I think
I'm gonna show you. I think I still get the video.
You're a remarkable human being who's been dealt a really good and really shitty hand at the same time. It's rare to see.
Nice. So if we're playing, if we're playing some poker, I got a nice, maybe like a two pair, like a, you know what I'm saying? Like a.
Yeah, I think I.
Yeah, you can play in poker or space. But remember, you are the chess and I'm the player. By the end of the day. Okay, I gotta. You're the chess and I'm the player. Copy. Who's copy? Where is copy? Copy. Great. I don't know why I can't see him. Subscribe. And I think this guy, I think they bought him. I don't know. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna cancel that. No, just leave it. You guys wanna see what's this?
How we doing, everyone? Mitch here with another Logic Pro 10 tutorial. Today I'm going to be talking about bouncing or exporting our project into an audio file. So we can put it in iTunes and share it with the world, right? So let's get right into it. We can get to that bounce menu in a few ways. We can select File, we can go to Bounce, and then Project or Section. We can select that, and this is the menu for bouncing. We can also use the key command, Command B, which is what I'm going to be using from now on.
Bouncing?
Just the easiest.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to remember, right? Command B, bounce, whatever. So, as you can see in this view, there's a few things going on. There's a destination, PCM, which is going to be our lost list types of audio formats, our MP.
Okay, I don't know what he's saying. This guy don't have videos. This guy has 3 subscribers. Like, who the hell is this guy? Rifle. Like, who is this guy? They bring to him to talk to him like he's something. I don't care about that video anymore. I'm just gonna go post what I got here. Look. Nothing was downloaded. Anyway. crap. Dismiss. Anyway, they still downloading things